I bought a 1992 Chevy Corvette and I sold it in 7 days. Hello everybody, it's Mike, the Baldadonis. Boom! If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Mike the Baldadonis and I talk about many different topics. Sharing life experiences one video at a time is my motto. I talk about me being in my early 20s doing 5 years and 3 months in prison for a first-time drug offense. Only to get out, unhappy with my body, I decided to do steroids, gained 105 pounds of pure muscle, only to have a heart attack and other steroid-related health issues. I currently deal with migraines and vertigo from today's environmental pollution, today's foods, and VOCs. I have Gary from the gym, he's a conspiracy theorist. Dr. Peter Pacocco, he's my mentor, the reason why I'm on YouTube, and he talks about inspiration. I buy and sell cars as a hobby, and I bring you guys along with me, showing you the pros and cons of each vehicle that I buy. I also bring other people on board, sharing their interesting life stories as well. Hey guys, last week I bought a 1992 Chevy Corvette with 300 horsepower, 300 feet-pounds of torque, the LT1. I bought it from a friend of mine named Peter. Me and Peter go back about 30 years. So he's downgrading all his vehicles so he can buy a nice Jeep Wrangler. So he gave me the opportunity to buy his Corvette, and he knew I was gonna buy it to resell it. So the car had a couple little issues that, not a big deal, but the car's been sitting since last August. So from August until last week, the car wasn't really driven at all. So I knew that going into it. How he got the car is pretty interesting. He bought it from a police officer from the town next door, and he had it since 2012. Only put 4,000 miles on it. Living in New England or any kind of northern state where it's winter half the year, you don't drive our cars, the cars just sit, you know, and that's unfortunate because these cars need to be driven. Seals shrink up, you get leakage from transmissions, oil, antifreeze, anything that has some kind of liquid in it might leak out somewhere. The brakes, brake lines, you know, tires get flat spots on them, the oil has to be changed. So owning fun cars is cool, but at the same time it is a pain in the ass because you have to keep the upkeep and the maintenance as soon as the spring comes, and that's either part of the fun or part of just the aggravation. Depends on which way you look at it. So like I said, he got it from a police officer, owned it since 2012, put 4,000 miles on it. He bought a newer Corvette and then gave the Corvette to his son. They didn't do much work to it except for the stupid stuff, like they put a headliner in it with a Chevy Corvette symbol on it. They put red hoses on the engine. They put a K&N filter. They did put new seats and rugs in it, but for mechanical stuff, I didn't see much in receipts at all. Peter had a folder full of stuff, and it was mostly the cosmetic stuff, so we didn't know how much work actually been done to it. It ran pretty good when I got it. You know, again, it needed little things, you know what I mean? The radio didn't work, but Peter did charge up the AC for me, so that was ready to go. This is what I call an inexpensive Corvette versus a cheap Corvette. A cheap Corvette, the seats are ripped up, the rugs look like crap, the steering wheel might be all messed up, mismatched tires, bad bodywork. $2,000 to $4,000 Corvette, you know, something like that. An expensive Corvette in the $5,000 range to like 6 to 7, that's where my car fits in. With some TLC, it could be a $7,000 Corvette. Right now, the way I sold it was a $5,000 Corvette. Well, speaking of the police officer, he told his son, do not drive this Corvette with anybody in it. He just got his license. And if I see you driving around with your friends, I'm going to take the Corvette away from you. The son thought he can get away with it. I don't know how you're going to get away with it. And when your father's a police officer and then he starts following you around and he bagged you. So he ended up taking the car away from him, and my friend Peter bought it. He got it for his wife. He has a white Mustang, so the wife has a white Corvette. Again, didn't drive that much. September to now, just sat there in the garage. So now I get it. I'm driving, I live about 15 minutes away from Peter. So I'm driving on the highway, Route 93. He told me the tires may need to be balanced. But on the highway, I was going, I'm like, what the hell's going on? I mean, it was shaking. I was like, damn, it needs to be balanced. But that wasn't my problem. The problem was I was feeling cold air on my chest and my face with the windows up. I was like, what the hell's going on? The Tiger roof has a skin on it that started lifting off and lifting off, and I can see the sky. The wind's coming down my face. I am pooping my pants because I'm like, is this thing gonna fall off? And the car's driving like this. I'm like, what the hell's going on? You know, this is the first drive in several months this car has gotten. Bad gas, the battery's like half dead, bad tire, the T-top is about the Tiger roof is about to fly off. So I'm talking to Peter on the phone. I'm like, dude, what the hell's going on? And I made it home. And I'm like trying to get a picture as the Tiger roof is actually peeling off the frame. These come from the factory like this. They're glued on. After several years, they the glue breaks up and the roof starts to come apart. So you actually have to take the whole skin off, clean it up, sand it down. That's what Peter did for me. I brought the roof way back to his house. He spent the whole day, the next day, grinding down all that glue, resealing it, and it took about 2 days to cure, and the roof came out fantastic. So Peter, thank you very much. So as the car's at my house, of course I have OCD with cars. I have to detail them as soon as I get them. No exception with this Corvette. I didn't do a deep clean. I did a quick clean because I bought 2 vehicles a couple days before that, and I just detailed all those cars. So I was kind of like tired. So I did a quick detail and brought the car back to some visual niceness, I would say. You know, the tires came out nice, vacuum cleaned, all that good stuff. So as time's going on, the battery is, on the dead side. If it doesn't charge up, I have to jump start it. So I bring it to my friend's shop, toss it on the test loader. It's right there in the middle. Like, it's okay if you drive it. You know what I mean? So that's what I did. I ended up driving the car for the whole week. Never had a problem starting it up. But I had to get fresh gas in there. It had old gas from last year. You know what that's like? It runs like crap. Skipping a little. So I'm driving around trying to get all that bad fuel out. I put some fresh gas in there. As I'm in my driveway messing around with the car, I shut the door. I locked myself out. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. So I had one metal coat hanger that I was trying to get in there. I just couldn't reach it. So I ended up going to my friend's repair shop, RGA. They gave me a toolkit that I could open up the door in 4 minutes. And I was like, okay, great. It's one of those cars, you know what I mean? So one day I start up the car and it's just pouring out smoke. It's just all raw fuel. And I'm like, Peter, what do you think this is? He's like, oh, this probably needs a tune-up. And it did. It smells like gasoline, So who knows the last time there was a tune-up, the belt was changed, when there was oil change. Nobody knows because there's no records of it. Peter didn't do anything the time that he had it. So yeah, that's what the car needed. This is what a $5,000 Corvette is. A car that is presentable, new interior. The radio didn't work. It did, but the amplifier was blown, so you couldn't hear the music. You can hear the crackling. It did have a new liner in the T-top. Peter fixed the, I keep saying T-top, it's a Tiger roof. Peter actually sealed that, so that was done. He charged the AC, so that was done. You know, it drove pretty good for old gas that it needed oil, that it needed a tune-up. It handled really well. And, you know, I didn't think it was going to sell as fast as it did. I put it up on Craigslist, and I also put it up on Facebook. On Facebook Marketplace, you can see how many views that I got. In 3 days that I had it up, I had 622 views and several people interested in it. I park it out at my mailbox at the end of my driveway. Several people. Like, as soon as I turn around, I can see people just keep boop, 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 boop. I mean, it is a eye catcher. But then you can see some of the flaws. It has clear coat peeling on the driver's door. It had a little chip missing on the driver's side fender where the battery is. It, you know, it's not perfect, but if it was perfect, it would be worth, you know, $8,000, $7,500, not $5,000. So yeah, you know, the battery kept dying. Like I said, I had to drive it. Fuel, I put some fresh fuel in it. And I just had to keep driving it for the week, but I can't believe how fast the car sold. So some of the pros are they're inexpensive, they're everywhere, they're still stylish, they're still plenty quick, and they still do 150 miles an hour. They are reliable, they handle very well, parts are inexpensive to fix, and the seats are very comfortable. Some of the cons: the car is older. Try to find the nicest car possible, hopefully from a Corvette enthusiast that lovingly took care of that vehicle. The tires are expensive, the electronics can be dodgy. It is a tight fitting car if you're on the taller side. The roof skin does separate from the frame, so you have to be aware of that. So not a complicated job at all, it's just a little messy, and the gaskets that hold between the door and the roof itself, those do wear out, and the car rattles, it has its squeaks. So that's what you're gonna get with an older Corvette. You just don't get driven as much as they should be. So things do dry up, you do get some leaks. The AC always loses a charge. So, you know, a gasket, the O-ring usually shrinks up and the AC escapes, and you usually have to go through and put an O-ring in it or just keep recharging it. That was this case with this Corvette. Simple recharge, it's good to go. It needs another radio, but it has a perfect red interior, only 106,000 miles on it. It did have, or does have, brand new front shocks. The tires, you know, not as bald as my head, but just passable. The front tires were better than the rear tires, but it's a Corvette. You want 300 horsepower, 300 pound-feet of torque that runs 14 seconds down the quarter mile, 150 miles an hour top end, and still look pretty decent in an older Corvette? Hey, $5,000 will get you there. So I want to, again, thanks Peter for selling me a car. I was able to flip it within 7 exact days since I bought it, and I went to a new owner up, I think it was Keene, New Hampshire, so it was an hour-and-a-half ride just for him to come see it, drive back, come back with his son a couple hours later. So he spent about, you know, 6 hours driving just to pick up this Corvette in the rain. So that tells you something. People are still interested in buying cars in this economy with this coronavirus. I was kind of worried about that when I did my last video. You know, I do have 3 more cars that I'm trying to sell. My BMW M3. I'm still waiting for the title to come in for the Volkswagen VR6. That's a little project that I'm still working on. The Volvo, there's nothing to be done on that. And that's the next video for the car that I'm gonna do. So the Volvo is next. And till the next video, everybody. Baldadonis out.